Burns. We're delighted that you're here and investing some time and energy with us today. And we're going to go through a presentation regarding Robo-Forex and copy trading. So before we get into that, it's always important to have a disclaimer about risk in the Forex market. Forex and this type of trading is risky. That's how come you get the returns that you enjoy if you're fortunate enough to be aligned with a good trader and their strategy. But very important all the way down at the bottom of this, and I would encourage you to get a screenshot of this if you don't have it already. But never risk funds you cannot afford to lose is a very, very good admonition. In other
Robert,
words,
your screen share is not on yet.
Oh, thank you so much. See, I didn't walk quite enough miles today, so the brain isn't working as it could be and should be. Okay, off we go. Thank you for that heads up. All right, so down at the bottom of this slide, you'll see never risk funds you cannot afford to lose. That admonition, that advice, that suggestion is really important to heed, because if somebody comes in and they're really excited about the returns, but they're putting money in that should be really earmarked for the rent or for the groceries or so on, that's not a prudent move. We don't recommend anybody do that. So with that, we'll get into the meat of the matter. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert Burns. I'm here actually as we speak. I'm here in Brașov, Romania. I'm from Seattle, Washington area in the USA. And the way that I am able to participate is both my wife and my daughter are dual citizens. They're US citizens and Romanian citizens. The Romanian citizens can play, the US citizens cannot, sadly, but that's the way it is. My son, he is in Bozeman, Montana. And actually that ties in nicely with that second line, which is fly fishing. There's some great fly fishing there, which I dearly love, and also playing the bass guitar. That's my two fun endeavors. And on my professional resume, lots of things that have a common theme of things financial, meaning Forex, real estate, crypto, things that create money. I've been involved in a lot of different projects over the years, but I always gravitate back toward the things that make money. And with this product, it makes money. That's the whole intention of it. In other words, what you're about to see. Also, optional, but something that you can engage in here. If you like to build teams, you like internet marketing, these are things that this is very well suited for that. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to get into copy trading, the solidity of the broker, the withdrawals, how compounding works, the affiliate part. And then in part two, we'll have a drawing at the beginning of that. And that kind of brings things in for a nice, fun opportunity for people to win some money. So let me get into copy trading first. What is copy trading? Copy trading is the notion that somebody gets their account set up with Robo-Forex, which is just registering and then going through the KYC process. KYC for Know Your Customer. It's the stuff that makes a legitimate broker make sure that there's no money laundering or any funny business going on. They have to do that. If they're legitimate, they do that. And this broker is legitimate, so they do that. So that means you verify your email, you verify your ID. That usually is either a passport or a national ID, could be in some countries a voting card, depending on where you are, depends on what you're able to use. But what happens is once that's set up, then you get together with the person that invited you here and have a discussion about what your risk tolerance is, what you like, what you don't like. And then they try to tailor a selection of a trader that may make sense based on what you tell them. And that trader then trades on your behalf into your account. They can't touch your money. They only trade on your account and hopefully create profits. When they create said profits, then you pay them a percentage of that profit each week. And that's the way the trader gets paid, and that's how you grow your account without having to have trading skill yourself. In other words, copy trading, when it is working as it should, will create nice profits and is very passive. You don't have to be engaged in the trading yourself. Most of us take a good look at our accounts each day to get a sense of where things are going and keep an eye on the store, so to speak. But that's copy trading. Very simple. Get set up, register, verify. select a trader, and in between verify and select a trader, you need to fund your account. That might be as little as $100, could be more. Often people will get into doing a test trade first, a test trading scenario to get a sense of how this works, and then increase the dollar amount, the pound amount, the shekel amount, whatever it may be, as your currency to increase and make the result a more meaningful result. In other words, if it's $100 account, it will generate the same percentage as a $1,000 account, a $10,000 account, a $100,000 account. The difference is it a meaningful number? The percentage will be the same. So, if you earn 1 or 2% a day on a $100 account, it's cool. It's $1 to $2. But, I just visited McDonald's this morning. It would be tough to buy breakfast there on that kind of a result. So it probably means somebody wants to have more money in there ultimately. Now, withdrawals we'll get into. How do you get your money in? How do you more importantly, how do you get your money out? We'll touch on compounding, as I said, and then we'll get into the affiliate part and then have the drawing. So with that, step one is really looking at the broker. And this is a broker that I ran across actually a long while prior to meeting Robert Russell, who is my sponsor. I saw a post on his wall of this business. It intrigued me because of the possibility of creating passive income, both from my own account as well as building a team. You can do either or. By the way, you can start here with zero. If you want to do team building, you don't have to put one bit of your own money in, something else to explore. If you're tight on funds, that's something that is a possibility. But I saw this broker prior to meeting Robert. I was impressed with them instantly. Some of the detail that I got more detail on was the number of clients they have at 4.5 million in 169 countries. This is something you don't do overnight. They're actually over 12 years old, and they've won lots of accolades for the service and the reliability of their brokerage. They also are regulated in the country of Belize. The regulatory body there is called the FSC. They're a participant in the Financial Commission. It's an arbitration commission that is comprised of similar brokers like RoboForex. The idea being, if there is ever a dispute with a client, they have a coalition of brokers that will provide arbitration. And if the client wins, then that client can be paid up to $20,000. If it is a dispute, that's something that just shows a good faith to try to do things properly and stand behind what they do. The different instruments that the company works in, of course, Forex, cryptocurrencies is another one, stocks, you can trade stocks on here, and indices. Indices are things like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the UK 100, the NASDAQ 100, top 100, the German 40, which is also known as the DAX. Those are all things that are indices, and let's see, contract for CFD is another acronym for indices. What that means is you're projecting that when somebody's trading it, that let's use the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the US 30. If there's good news for the big 30 US companies, then that goes up. If there's bad news, then it goes down. It's as simple as predicting that in advance, and to the degree that you're accurate with that, you make profit, either direction. Additionally, there are other instruments. There are exchange traded funds. There's ETFs is the acronym for that. Soft commodities, things like sugar, cocoa, coffee, wheat, soybean, etc. Energies are in the natural gas area, heating oil, ethanol, and so forth. And metals are silver and gold. And gold is a very popular and very volatile instrument. So it can be good and bad, because usually when you have volatility, it's a double-edged sword. It can be good when your trader is getting it right, but it can punish you if they don't. So you have to, again, weigh the risks and what your comfort level is with those risks. These, again, are the accolades that the company has won. I won't read all this stuff to you, but they're well thought of. That's kind of the punchline. Now, as far as the traders, this assumes that you have signed up with the link that the person that referred you got to you. You sign up with their link, you register is what that's called. Then you go through the verification process. You let the person that you're working with know, what your risk tolerance is. And then, depending on how you want to start out, you might start out with a $100, $500, $1,000, whatever your comfort level is to get a sense of how this operates. And then they recommend a trader. They usually are using that trader. And I know in my case, Robert Russell's case, we're very keen on getting this right because the traders that we're letting our team know about are traders we're personally using. So if the trader gets it wrong, we're not happy about that. In other words, we have skin in the game with the traders. So when we recommend a trader, that's a trader that, we're trusting with our own money as well. And that I think is a very important concept with anybody making recommendations of traders. Make sure that they indeed are using that trader. Some of the criteria that we use to select a trader, this is certainly not all of the criteria, but some of it is that they use a tight stop, meaning if it goes against you, that it's not going to run forever. And takes you out. And sometimes that's a very good sign with a trader, meaning you want to see some stops hit, because absolutely the very best traders in the world, world-class traders, have losses. The trick is that those very traders know how to mitigate the losses and keep those losses tight and small. Also drawdowns. What's a drawdown? A drawdown is when you have an unrealized loss, meaning anytime, almost always, when you enter a trade, you're in a slight loss instantly, an unrealized loss or a floating loss. It only becomes a realized loss when somebody closes that trade, the trader or you, which you're able to do, by the way. So keeping drawdowns low is important to the degree that you can. There's kind of a delicate balance between, you want really good returns, you gotta be willing to tolerate some drawdown. So this is part of that discussion of when you're selecting a trader. What is your tolerance of that? And that's an important thing to have on your your checklist to get a sense of what is comfortable, and more importantly, maybe what isn't. Past performance is a pretty good indication, not always, because sometimes things change in the marketplace. The old phrase, past performance is not an indication of future results, but it gives you a sense of what they've done and how they operate. What is their win ratio in trades? Are they winning more than they're losing? And this is kind of a funny one, because sometimes you can have super profitable traders and they have 50% win rate. What? 50% win rate. I said it. In other words, now if you have a higher win rate, terrific, but it's all about the degree that they keep those losses small. And then when they have wins, the wins go off the chart. That's what you really want. And again, a sign of a very good trader. Do they have a Telegram channel and or group? In other words, can you communicate directly with the trader and have an interaction and a dialogue with the trader? Then look at their total trades, look at the total number of investors that are following them. Those are good indications of things that are good measures of the validity of a trader. Now, I'll give you an example here. This is a trader that many of us are using and like. This was a very short example. I've got to update this, but the key thing I want to draw your attention to, not only is the trader, but the methodology that we're using to track results. There's a thing called MyFX book that is widely considered a good mechanism to determine what the percentage gains are, the daily return, the monthly return, all kinds of, there's detail in here, that most people will never really look at, but some of the basics, like what are they earning per day? What are they earning per month? You see down here that you have the daily, today's return, this week's return, this month's return down here. How much did you put in? How much profit have they created? And so forth. This gives you a really good measure of how the traders are doing. Here is a trader that is a robotic trader. Many of us like this one because yes, it does have drawdowns sometimes, but it has very consistent winning. It's in fact never lost, other than when there's trades holding for a long time because of what is happening. But those are just in interest charges. But the actual robot, it's very effective. And the people that have been involved with this is a little bit old, this slide, but it's 35 to 40% profit thus far, running since early April. This is how a chart should look. The only thing I would add to this is I do want to see, and this is something that we contemplate constantly. You want to see a little tiny white, tooth mark in here now and then, because that's an indication of a trader taking a loss. And you want to see traders take losses, but not let them be big teeth marks like, a great white shark came in. A little tiny tooth mark in here. And So this is something, though, that you want to see up and to the right. Pretty obvious, but sometimes we miss the obvious. And this is one that's a good indication. But just don't be alarmed if you see little tooth marks. That's good. In fact, I like that better than this graph right here. Now, how do you get money in and out? In most countries, you can use Visa and MasterCard. There are some exceptions, but most allow that. Most allow crypto. There are some exceptions that do not. And then other services, AstroPay, Skrill is in some countries, Revolut is in some countries, ADV Cash, but it's easy to get things. NetTeller is another one. You can get your money in and out readily. In fact, Robert Russell did a great job of demonstrating that very concept. Here he's using crypto, the USDT TRC20, to do withdrawals. Here he's using bank transfers, meaning wire transfers. Here he's using Visa and MasterCard to withdraw money. So you can see a good gamut of different choices that he has used in his own account, as much in this case to demonstrate for people that it really is pretty straightforward to get your money in and, more importantly, out. And this is just more of the same. In other words, here's some crypto withdrawals. Now, what I'm about to show you now is really a lot of fun. Again, I want to emphasize this slide. I don't mean to be redundant here, but this stuff is risky. It is. If you want no risk, go put your money in the bank. The problem with the bank is these days, the return is so anemic that with the inflation rates that we're seeing in many countries, I was kind of stunned at the inflation rate here in Romania, UK, same thing. We came out a little bit better in the US, but not much, and it was pretty bad. Everybody had bad inflation. And when you look at the rate that you earn in the bank compared to that inflation, it's not even close. I mean, in other words, you would have to have, in most cases, a double-digit return annually just to stay nose above the water. And if a bank is paying 1 or 2% annually, you're going backwards. So putting your money in the bank, while yes, it may be safe, is it a good play? That's up to one's own judgment, but it certainly isn't a place that I find myself wanting to put money in. Now, into compounding. This is some fun stuff right here. Give me just a second here, guys. Okay, here we go. So what I want to show you, and before we do that, I want to get this information to you. So we talked about the initial capital, the money that you would put into trading if you're testing the water, right? In other words, how much money are you putting in initially to kind of test the water? That's probably not an indication that if you like what you're seeing of what you would ultimately be trading with, meaning it might probably be a smallish amount, and just to see how the mechanics of the whole process work. Then there's a point at which you say, okay, hopefully it passes the test, and you say, all right, I want to really give this thing a whirl. And whatever that number is, what I'd like you to contemplate for you is, what is that number? What is the rate that you would like to see on a daily basis? Because this actually will compound daily. And you'll see how important that is. And then what length of time? Do you want to do that for 6 months, for a year, for 2 years, whatever you want to do? And I've also put the link in. Whoops, I sent that only to Mike Trainer. Hang on, I gotta get everybody on that as the send. There we go. Now everybody should be seeing what I'm talking about in chat. And you'll see there's a link there. Click that link before you leave, and then you'll have access to what I'm about to show you. I'll show you how it works, and then you can come back and use that calculator whenever you wish. So here is the calculator, guys. Let's put in $1,000 to start. Now, I showed you a couple of different examples on the trader results. And what I'm about to show you, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get a 0.8% return, but it is a return a lot of traders are achieving. So know that it depends on the trader. It depends on several factors, which are hard to button down. But I just want to make that clear that I'm not suggesting you're going to get a 0.8. It's just to show you a math example, really, which is what this is. So let's say $1,000. a daily rate of 0.8, in other words, 0.8% each day for 1 year, what do you think that number is going to be? Let me see some guesses in chat. Type out what you think that number is going to be after a year. Come on, guys. I'm hearing crickets here. Okay, Mike Trainer, we've got a 10K projection. Okay. Any other votes for a number? Okay, Claudia, 7K. Richard, 25. I like Richard's number. I don't think it's realistic, but I like it. Okay, Helen, 20K. Okay, we'll show you how you can get there, but it may be a little bit rosy. Let me show you what the math is on this. And let me back up just a minute. I'm sorry. I wanted to show you one other thing. When you use this calculator, you see this choice right here that says include all days of the week. Now, if you're going to trade crypto, you could leave that on yes. But what I want to show you is Forex right now. You'd say no, because it's only 5 days, business days of the week. And what we're doing now is we're going to reinvest the whole amount just to show you the impact of 0.8% for a year on $1,000. Your $1,000, drum roll, would turn into $7,900. 693% return if you were fortunate enough to get a 0.8% return every day, like clockwork. You've got a machine that is generating that kind of a return. And that's quite good, right? In other words, the compounded return over a year would be 693%. Imagine a bank, going to the bank and saying, hey, bank, I'd like you to pay me 600%. They'd look at you like you were from Mars. At least the ones in the US do. Maybe your bank is different. I doubt it. Now let's look at how this works. So you started with $1,000. Month one, we're halfway through basically, or thereabouts, would be $126 in earnings. That means you start month two with $1,126. Then in month two, you earn $205. That then this column is showing your total cumulative earnings month by month, and then over here, add the 205 to the 1126, and you have 1332 right here. Month three, add $267 to that, and you now have at the end of month three a $1,600 return. You get the idea. I won't belabor the point here, but somewhere between right here and right here, you could take out $1,000. Actually, between right here at the end of month. At the end of September here, you could, and between there and October, you're at $2,000 in here, actually fairly quickly into October. Take out $1,000 and you now have the return of your initial investment, your seed money. You have reduced your risk to basically zero. And is that possible? It is, assuming you get a 0.8% return every day from your trader. So the beauty of this is you have a means of completely de-risking yourself. Now, I want to show you something else. That's one way to do it. Okay. The other way to do that is to do this, is to say, no, I don't want to reinvest 100%. I want to reinvest zero. I just want to take earnings out as they come in. So I'll show you that method. And guys, by the way, this is new. They used to limit it down to 5%. Now it's zero. So you literally can say, I want to take every dime, every shilling, every shekel, every naira out, every Romanian lei out, every time they generate a profit. Boom, let's look at that. Your earnings went down quite a bit. You see, compounding is not really happening now. We went from over 600% to 200% profit. You have earned a total of 2,080, and you've taken out 2,080. And so you can see here, there's a point at which, you have done that by May of 2024. It would take quite a bit longer to do it this way, but you're getting your money out as you go. So you have to decide which is more comfortable for you. If you want this method, this again, it's just all math. But if you allow it to really compound over 3 or 4 months, you can shorten that learning curve, that profit curve, and you're somewhere between right here, 1 to 3.5 months, you have your money back. So you can kind of choose how you want to do that. And then what's really wild when you see this happen, let's just say this worked out like this, and at the end of the let's say October, you take out $1,000 and you're trading with 1,254. Let's say 1,254. And let's say that you now go 2 years and you want to see what it looks like over 2 years. And we'll say at the end of October, right here, boom, 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 boom. Whoops. Or end of October. Okay. Beginning of November. Calculate. And your $1,200, if you give it 2 years, will turn into $80,000. And you have a 6,300% return over that period of time. Pretty impressive results. And this is something that when people see this, Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and old Albert was right. It really is magical when this starts to happen. And this is one of the things that you can harness with this business, is this notion of daily compounding. You see, each day, your account, if there's a profit today, that then is part of the overall principle for the trading that takes place tomorrow, and so on and so forth. So this is something I encourage you to take a peek at. If you've got questions on this, well, after the drawing, I can get into how to work this, or if something wasn't clear to you. But and don't hesitate if you do have questions along the way, type them out, and we'll be sure to try to answer them if we can in the Q&A part at the end. So back over to the presentation. What I've shown you so far is I've shown you, we've discussed the concept of copy trading, what that is. We've talked about the importance of this.
Robert, have you froze on us? We can't hear you. Yeah, you're back.
I am, apparently.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't mean to leave. So internet connectivity here may be an issue. Let me see. No, it should be okay. And can you hear me okay now? Okay, good. Getting the thumbs up. So on Monday each week, Robert Russell leads a class called the Master Class, which is all about back office training, how to get around, how to do different things that are useful things to do and important things to do with RoboForex. In other words, how does all of the stuff in the background work? He's brilliant at that and does that each week, Monday at 8 p.m. UK time. Then Tuesdays, we have an event each week at 9 a.m. UK time, which is exactly like this one. And then on Wednesdays, there's also a Wednesday evening event at 8 p.m. UK time. And then on Saturdays, we do this one each week, 9 a.m. UK time, and then followed by a Q&A and helping people get enrolled if they want to engage with this. So if you're interested in going ahead, if you have enough information to proceed, get together with your sponsor. You could ping them right now, get their link, and we can show you how to do this when we're at the end of the and we get into part 2 after the drawing. In other words, literally, we can walk you through how to get set up and how to get running. Also, you might take a screenshot of this this slide. You see that link down at the bottom there, which is timefreedomteam.xyz. What's that? That is our site that provides all the necessary things you need other than the link of your sponsor. That's something you have to get yourself from them. And this will give somebody presentation, how to get plugged into our groups. Of course, direct the person that is visiting the site to get the link. And step number 3 is to get the link from their sponsor. Step number 4 is how to become a client with all, the step-by-step process, very simple. How to become an affiliate. You can do one or the other or both. And all of that is there. And then lastly, there is a Dropbox at the bottom, which has all of the stuff that I use in it, graphics and different things. And then at the very top is our calendar of events, which then if you want to see the links and all the information from the events that I just went over, you can go to that calendar and see exactly what's going on. And if you add it to your calendar, actually in your time zone, which is handy. Now, I'm going to get into the affiliate part of the plan here. This is something that optional completely. You don't have to do the affiliate part, but we find that people that that have the gift of gab and like the results that they're seeing, they'll want to share that with others. And one of the things that is so powerful is that if you go to a good movie, it's pretty hard not to talk about the movie and tell your friends about it. It's kind of the same idea. If you're getting good trading results, a lot of people will just automatically and naturally share that with people that they know and like and trust, and vice versa. And so that's where it starts. We'll show you how, if you choose to do that, you can do it in a way that is very effective, and people, the team will often grow beyond your expectation. And the key things here is it really is simple. There's a link. You send the link to the person that wants to take a look. It works. You can withdraw the money. You can add it to your compounding. You can buy groceries with it. You're paid daily. So whatever you want to do with that money, it's your money. You can do with it as you wish. I choose to add it to compounding so my compounding grows more. But some will want to withdraw that and pay the bills. Good on you. It's your money. These are some of the high points of the affiliate program. There are no payout limits. There are daily payments. There's no deal restrictions, no bonus restrictions, 24/7 support and analysis, simple analytics, which they're really good. In other words, you can find out the amount of assets under management on your team. You can see the amount of business that's coming in, new people that are coming in, how many people have enrolled. I mean, all kinds of stuff that is all managed by the system and very effectively managed. So these are the 4 ways to earn. The first one is the daily returns from your trader. That's the copy trading. The second one is you refer somebody to the trader. Here's a common example, and I'll show you the math on this in just a second. But on the second one, if you have a trader that you like, you're using, and let's say that trader, and the traders vary on this, by the way, but many of them will say, look, if I create a profit for you, we'll have a 70-30 split. You keep client, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, you keep 70%, the trader will take 30%. And that's paid to the trader weekly out of the profits. If then you're an affiliate and you refer somebody to that same trader, many of the traders will split that 30% 50-50 with you if you refer clients to them, which is smart because that means you have an incentive. If you're liking the trader and then you refer others to them, you're earning 50%, which is actually 15% of the profit each week. That's pretty cool. And that's something that you can also earn from. The third piece is the commissions that the brokerage itself, that RoboForex charges on the spreads, on different commissions that are charged. You can, that starts from 35%. And I'll show you how that works over five tiers of compensation. And the last one is a monthly bonus that happens at the beginning of the month, each month, depending on how much you earn from part 3. That's what defines how much you earn in part 4. So as one example, let's say that you have funded your account with $5,000 and you earn a 23% profit. And I'm not suggesting you're going to earn that. I'm just using this as a math example. It may be more, it may be less. But let's say you were fortunate enough to earn 23% in a month. You have an $1,150 profit. But remember, you still have to pay the trader, and along the way, that's paid each week. So if you earned $1,150, you'd take 30% of that number, meaning times 0.7. That would be 805. This is your net. You earned $1,150 gross. You have a net of 805. You start next month with 5,805. and again, it was compounding along the way to generate this result. Those profits come in each day, but just to simplify the math, this is how that works. Then right here, let's say that you have some friends that do exactly what you did. You have 5 people that you've personally enrolled. They each do the same thing. So you have $25,000. They were fortunate enough to also be already involved at that point. They got that 23% in profit. So there's $5,750 in gross profit from the people that you referred. The trader charges 30% right here. That's $1,725, and many of the traders will divide that with you 50-50. If you referred the 5 yourself, you're going to earn $862 on those 5 folks that you enrolled. Not bad, right? I mean, this isn't an army. This is just a few people. Now, here is the on that previous chart here, which this is point number 3 right here. This is something that's very powerful. This is the affiliate commission that's earned over 5 tiers of compensation. In other words, 35% from the people that you enroll directly, your personals, then 20% from their personals, 15% from their personals, 12.5% and 10, 5 levels. This can be a very, very significant number over time. And as an example, if you earn somewhere between $100 and $500, you get a 10% bonus at the beginning of the next month. If you earn between $500 and $30,000, you get a 15% bonus, which is paying out up to $4,500 on this tier. And on this tier, if you have over $30,000 in profit, you then get a $6,000 bonus and up in this tier. And I'm going to kind of ambush him here, but I want to have you hear from Robert Russell, because he had a recent milestone along the way, kind of a high water mark. And Robert, if you could share the earnings that you had, and he doesn't earn this every day yet. You know, he earned this once, but if he earned it once, I'm pretty certain, knowing this guy, that he's keen on earning it a second time and maybe even a third time, maybe even daily. So what was that number that you earned recently, Mr. Russell?
Hey, Robert, thank you. So it was I think it was over 2.5 weeks ago. It was slightly over $1,000, $1,050 in one day.
Just from that 5-tier part of the compensation, correct?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt, Robert, that quite a lot of us will be getting there very, very soon again.
Yes, I absolutely agree. My high water mark is $326, and I like that day a lot. I want to figure out how to do that again, and I want to try and catch our Irish friend and get up to that four-figure number. And everybody here can do that too. I mean, this is something that it's not complicated. It's simple stuff, and it's just a matter of engaging and being consistent. So thank you for that, Robert. And just to recap what we covered in the affiliate plan, it is simple. It works. You can add it again to your trading. If you want to have it compound, you can withdraw it. You can do whatever you want. It's your money. Now, what I want to do at this point is get into the drawing. And here are the rules on the drawing. Guests can enter the drawing. Unfunded clients can enter the drawing, meaning you've set up an account, but you haven't funded it yet. You're still able to participate. You must agree to allow us to publish your name and picture. So that's an important part of the criteria. And the money will be delivered to you once your account is verified. So with that, what I'd like to do is get over here to the proper place and get the Wheel of Fortune running. Here was our last group of entrants. Who do we have today, Robert, that are guests?
So we have Claudia to start.
Okay.
We have Richard.
Okay.
We have Jude.
Okay.
So folks, is there anybody else that is completely new on the call? Jean, are you new on the call? Because I haven't seen you here before. Robert, I don't know if you do.
I don't know. Let's see who that is. I've just asked them to unmute. if you are new, don't be shy. You could win $100. Right now, it's a 33% chance. If you enter the drawing, it will be a 25% chance.
I'm here.
Okay, great. Are you new to the call with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will enter you in the drawing. And do you have an account set up yet, or are you still in the process of setting up your account?
I've set my account up already.
Okay.
It's verified.
Okay, good. Have you funded it?
Not yet.
Good, you're in. Okay. Anybody else? Last call for participants in the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay, I think we're good to go, Robert. So good luck.
All right, let's roll the wheel. Here we go. Everybody ready? Sure. Okay. Who is it going to be? It is Richard.
Oh,
Nicely done, Richard.
yeah. Congratulations, Richard.
Okay.
So has Richard got an upline, or did he receive a text or by our email by anybody to attend the call?
Let's have Richard. Richard, if you could come on mic, that would be great. I just asked you to unmute.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello, mate. You all right?
Richard. How did you hear about us?
One of my supervisors at work sent me a link to in the morning.
Okay. So that supervisor, I take it, is on our team someplace.
Yeah, I think he's named by Tony, but I don't know if you know him.
Tony Lack.
Yeah, Tony Lark. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Perfect. Rich,
Yeah, you're in good hands there, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
so reach back up to Tony and say to Tony that you won the $100 prize. Tony will get in contact with me and we'll get your account funded. Are you KYC'd and all yet?
Oh no, I'm waiting for them to authorize it. I sent my passport, my driver license. I'm just waiting for them to do it.
It often will take 2 days. So
Yeah.
if it gets beyond 2 days, then I would get in touch with customer service. But I always tell people 2 business days. That way it creates.
Yeah, I signed up yesterday in the evening, so yeah, should be hopefully Monday, I think.
Yeah.
And it's business days, so over the weekend the forex market closes, so they often are working, but I would always just count business days.
Okay, so what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Just message Tony?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just messaged him now saying I won the prize.
Excellent. That's great. Great news.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome and congratulations. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and